Hello, and welcome to the Killer Cuties podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Cassidy, and I've seen almost every horror movie out there.
And I'm KD, and I've seen almost none of them.
So join us each week as I attempt to make a horror fan out of Katie.
As a warning, we will be discussing spoilers and some uncomfortable topics that may be in the plots, so feel free to check out the film on doesthedogdie.com first to check for any triggers before listening.
Today we're going to be talking about Drew Goddard's directorial debut, 2012's comedy horror, The Cabin in the Woods. Let's get spooky. Um, so last week I was adamant that it was a pen and not a pen light. It it was a pen light. And so I'm a big enough man to admit when I'm wrong. And what I've learned from this is that no matter how many times I've seen a movie, I should still probably rewatch it before we record these episodes. So that's my
Correct.
apology. This is my corrections corner apology.
Yes.
And
Apology
now,
accepted.
thank you. And now Katie can kick us off with a summary.
Thank you so much. So Cabin in the Woods. Movie starts with a team of engineers discussing the beginning of a mysterious ritual. Meanwhile, a group of college students named Dana, Kurt, Jules, Holden, and Marty get ready for an RV trip to Kurt's cousin's cabin in the woods. The engineers from the beginning of the movie are actually manipulating the students and their environment to get them to perform certain actions in and around the cabin. All of the students come across unique ritualistic objects in the basement, and Dana ends up reading some Latin from a diary out loud, which awakens a nearby family of zombies. The engineers release pheromones into the woods to encourage Kurt and Jules to have sex, which they do, only to be caught by the zombies. Jules is killed while Kurt escapes back to the cabin. Marty, the resident stoner of the group, discovers some hidden cameras inside and then is also presumably killed by a zombie. Throughout this, we learn that the experiment is set in the United States, while there are similar experiments happening in Japan, Sweden, and other countries, which have all failed, and that America's experiment is humanity's last hope. The remaining surviving students try to escape in the RV, but the tunnel that led them to the cabin collapses at the request of the engineers. Kurt then tries to escape by jumping a cliff using a motorcycle, but runs into a force field and dies. Then Holden is killed by a zombie, leaving just Dana alive. At this point, the Americans celebrate because, quote, the virgin doesn't have to die in order for the right to be a success. But their celebration is early because Marty arrives just in time to save Dana from a zombie and escape into an elevator together disguised as a grave. In the elevator, Dana and Marty discover hundreds of unique monsters and they set them free in an attempt to escape. It's during this time that they hear from the director, played by Sigourney Weaver, who explains to them that there needs to be sacrifices of five slasher movie archetypes: the whore, Jules, the athlete, Kurt, the scholar, Holden, the fool, Marty, and the virgin, Dana, in order to appease the Ancient Ones, which is a group of underground gods. The director urges Dana to kill Marty to complete the ritual and spare humanity. However, after some struggle, Dana and Marty overpower the director and decide that humanity isn't worth saving. They share a joint as the ground collapses and the gods rise.
My my favorite fun fact about this movie is that at a very early screening of it, the first question that was asked after was, "Will there be a sequel?" And Drew Goddard, the director, was like, "Have you seen the movie?" No.
Well, I mean, there could be like a prequel.
I would love a prequel,
Yeah, I would
but it
too.
would kind of
Or
like
like,
I guess you wouldn't know if it. I guess if it was the same situation where it was like always America, but they even say that Japan's never failed, so you would know that like you know that you know the sacrifice succeeds somewhere, even if it's not here. But
yeah,
yeah,
true. It would be fun to do like the Japanese failure or the Stockholm failure or like like a movie in tandem with this movie.
oh yeah, like a what would you even call that if it's like it's not a prequel or a sequel. It's the
You
same.
could
It's the
call it
same timeline.
you could call it Japan, a cabin in the woods story.
Okay, glass onion.
A glass onion story.
Knives Out.
Oh, that's what I meant. You knew what I meant.
Yeah. I do think they did a good job of explaining like the system that they have for sacrifices as much as possible because obviously they can't like launch into it without it feeling like really exposition-y.
Yeah.
But I still kind of wish I knew more because it seems like from what the director says, like it's different in every country and like every culture and it changes over time. So I would be interested in seeing like what the prerequisites are for other countries and stuff. Because obviously like Japan seemed very different than us. It was a bunch of school children. So I don't think
Yeah.
they had a whoring over that seems like probably not the same type of sacrifice that
Yeah.
they're doing.
Yeah. They even said, like, how hard is it to kill a bunch of 9-year-olds?
Overall, what did you feel about it?
I liked it. It was yet another romp.
It is a romp, isn't it? I was nervous. I'm glad we told you beforehand that it was a comedy because I would be scared if you went in thinking it wasn't.
I'm pretty confident I would have picked it up.
It would
I
be
don't know when,
it would be
but
wild if you didn't.
yeah. At some point during the day watching this, I Snapchatted you and I said, "Fuck, I just spoiled this movie for myself. Like the one good part I just spoiled." And literally all you replied was the word idiot.
Yeah, because I tell you every time not to read anything, and here you
Yeah.
go getting on Wikipedia, finding out that your girl Sigourney Weaver, I'm assuming that's the part that you spoiled, was in it.
Yep. Yep. I was just gonna ask you, like, do you know what part
I
was
know
spoiled for me?
exactly
But
what part.
no, it was because the zombie with one arm,
Mhm.
I swear, is Mackenzie Foy
No.
from Breaking Dawn, which you've never seen. It's not Mackenzie Foy, but I was like, "Oh my god, that has to be Mackenzie Foy." So I looked it up and it was like, "The cast of Cabin in the Woods, top billed, Sigourney Weaver." Like, "Oh my god." The director, like,
Yeah.
okay.
No, that's actually,
Mm.
Jodelle Ferland, who plays Patience Buckner, and she is kind of a little scream queen herself. She was in,
What else?
wait for it, Silent Hill.
Really? Oh, was
Yeah.
she the daughter?
Yeah, she plays, that and Alessia, like the 2 what is it, Sharon and
Yeah.
Alessia or whatever? Yeah, she was in that, she was in The Messenger, she was in Case 39, she's been in a lot. All on her list, Katie hasn't seen those ones yet, but I'm pretty sure she was in Twilight.
Really? Who did she play?
Let me look it up because 'cause I've never seen Twilight.
Yeah, thank you.
Twilight, okay, hold on. Googling. Brie?
Bree Tanner?
It says
That's played by
Brie.
Mackenzie Foy.
Are you sure?
I thought. Oh, wait, maybe I'm dumb. Wait, I'm dumb. Mackenzie Foy is the daughter. Bree Tanner is the vampire.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm just reading off of what the Google is telling me because
Yeah.
I've never seen it, so I don't know.
So I was right, sort of. I was just googling the wrong character.
Got it.
Yeah, that
Okay,
was my
see, there
bad.
we go. You were right all
Yeah. They sh She did such a great job acting in the Twilight series that they wrote a fucking book about her character. Mhm.
People did great jobs acting in Twilight?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You would know if you watched. That also might not be the appropriate characterization of why that book was written, but I'm pretty sure that's why it was written.
I don't listen. I would love to watch Twilight. I think I would love to be as high as Marty is in this movie while watching them.
Yes.
Because they seem like a blast.
They are.
I bet.
Nothing cures and simultaneously begins a depressive episode quite like watching all of the Twilight movies.
Like maybe some nice fresh air.
Well,
A vegetable or two, maybe.
a vegetable,
Yeah, don't you
bottle of
just feel
water,
better
maybe.
about yourself when you like eat a vegetable? Like
Yeah,
a
I
raw
suppose.
one. Like a raw carrot, and you're like, yeah, this is how I'm supposed to be living.
Yeah, like that. Okay, well, I can't eat carrots anymore without thinking about fingers, though. So they say that it takes the same amount of power
Yeah.
to cut through a carrot with your teeth that it would a finger. So now
Hmm.
I can't eat carrots
Okay. I
without
can.
thinking of fingers. Oh my god. Must be nice.
Thanks. Um
Mhm.
anyways, back to Cabinet of the Woods.
Yeah. Right. Okay. What did you think of it?
Oh, I fucking love this movie.
Yeah, figured you
Yeah.
would.
Yeah, it's great. What do you mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. What's your favorite thing about it?
it's brilliant.
What?
It's brilliant.
That's your favorite thing about it? Is just that it's
Yeah.
brilliant?
It's brilliant. Yeah, like what an incredible take on the horror genre that it's all just like it cuz okay, it's similar to Scream in that it is a horror movie making fun of horror movies, right? It's one
Yeah,
of the reasons why I
absolutely.
love it.
Yeah.
So it's got a great sense of humor. The whole merman plot is incredible.
True.
You really can't beat the scenes with like the fucking monsters breaking in at the end. Like it's just like and it's so much fun to watch.
It is. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. I will say that kind of like Saw, halfway through the movie, I was like, "Oh my god, is this not fucking over?"
Oh.
It felt like a really, really long movie. I don't know
Really?
why, but I think
Oh.
yeah,
Like in a bad way?
yeah, not in a great way. I think that's what
Oh.
like docks it points is that it just felt like a really long, drawn out movie.
Hmm.
But that's not to say I wasn't enjoying it.
Yeah. I don't mind the pacing. I think like I don't know, I feel like it feels like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it just felt like a really long movie to me. I don't know why.
I mean, that's
Oh
fair.
well.
I think okay, so Fran Kranz, who plays Marty, the stoner,
Hmm.
apparently just fucking jacked. Like it's incredibly. The writers called him or said that he was ripped like muscular Jesus. And so,
What?
yeah, and so when they're like all swimming at the lake, that's why he doesn't swim with them. Like he stays on the dock with his clothes on because they were like, you can't take your shirt off and look better than Chris Hemsworth who's playing the jock. Like that's not gonna work. So you have to stay
True.
clothed. They put him in like all baggy clothes and layers because they were like, you can't look like that.
That is so funny. And it's
It's
funny that
good.
you bring up that scene too, because watching that scene, like Chris Hemsworth's character was so endearing to me. Like I'm not that girl. Like I'm not the girl that falls for the jock, like which is totally fine if you do, but I'm not that girl. Sorry to my husband. But like it was just so cute. Like, what's that in the water? What's that? It looks just like my
Okay.
girlfriend. And then he pushes her in. That
Yeah.
made me fucking laugh. Like
Yeah.
guffaw.
You guffawed.
I guffawed. I was like, wow, this man's really attractive. He's funny. He's brave.
But I
Oh,
think so to your point, he wasn't really a jock. Like that was kind of
true.
the point was that they made them into these archetypes instead of them actually being with it, which I think is like really clear at the beginning when Dana's like deciding which book to bring like for her homework on the trip and he knows exactly which book is better for the courses she's taking. Like he's not just
Yes.
some dumb jock, he actually is like an intellectual and a kind, loving boyfriend and a good friend and that's why like Marty was so confused when he's like why is he acting like this? Like he never acts like this alpha male bullshit. Like that's not him.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the other, what's the other guy's name?
Holden.
Holden. Holden was the sporty guy. He was the one that had like the best hands in the West or whatever they said.
Right.
So maybe that's the whole reason the experiment failed is because they switched their guys.
Yeah, and they didn't think about Marty's weed interacting with the drugs.
That also.
He also the
Wild.
actor also had to go to like stoner camp. Like he had to, to do like training to be a stoner. He had to learn how to like roll joints properly and like and the fucking coffee thermos bong that he had, fully functional as both a coffee mug and a bong. It cost him like $5,000 to make it.
Oh my god.
I want
I
it.
want to go to stoner camp.
I honestly, I want that like coffee bong thing. I don't even drink coffee. I probably don't even smoke weed once a year, but like I want it. I want it.
Yeah. It's like the perfect memorabilia from the movie. Like,
Oh, if I was an actor on if I was playing Marty, you bet your ass I'd be trying to steal that off set.
I wonder if he did.
I hope he did. Or at least like
Like,
bought it. I'd be
do
like, I'll give you 2K for it, you know?
yeah, just dock 2K
Yeah,
from my
from the
paycheck.
pay.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
I never even considered it being functional.
Oh, I know. I was like propped, but no. Fully functional.
Wild.
Yeah.
Did Sigourney Weaver being there as part of the cast do anything for you? Like, or was that just like, oh yeah, it's Sigourney Weaver?
Uh so I knew because she speaks over the intercom when they're in the thing, and I immediately
Correct.
recognized her voice.
Yeah, of
So
course.
like her reveal, like I wasn't like at that point I was like Sigourney Weaver's in this? Like what?
Yeah. That's what I
um
mean. Like when you realized it was her.
yeah, it was kind of fun. Like it was definitely like a fun cameo. I appreciated it.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be her.
Who was it supposed to be?
Their first choice was Bruce Campbell, who plays Ash in The Evil Dead.
Yeah.
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 You haven't seen that yet, but you know Ash because he's in
I
Dead by
do know Ash.
Daylight.
Yes. And I had a boss that was fucking obsessed with Bruce Campbell.
Really?
Like any Comic Con that he was ever at, he would fly to.
He seems like a really nice guy. From like every interaction I've heard from him, he seems like
Mhm.
genuinely very kind to fans all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was first choice. Sigourney Weaver was second, and if Sigourney Weaver had said no, they were going to try for Jamie Lee Curtis. So
You're telling me that it could have been Jamie Lee Curtis?
it could have been.
Oh my god.
I know.
That's almost like hard to compare. Like who's better? Like you win either way.
Yeah. Sigourney Weaver said yes because she wanted to be in a movie with a werewolf.
Okay.
Which I think is the best reason to say yes to a movie ever.
Honestly, love it.
She's in it for 45 seconds, but that werewolf's there too, so worth it.
Yep. Yep. Well,
Uh,
I love it.
yeah.
If she hadn't appeared on screen, she would have basically in Finding Dory reprised her role of this movie as the speaker.
Oh, I've never seen Finding
Yeah.
Dory.
Ugh. She just plays like the voice of the aquarium.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a little voiceover action. I like it.
Yeah.
You know what was a more um you're gonna hate me. A, a more exciting cameo for me personally.
What?
Tom Lank plays Ronald the intern.
Who? I know who
Yeah.
Ronald is.
So Ronald the intern, yeah.
Yeah.
He was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh. I haven't seen Buffy yet.
Yeah.
Need to.
Yeah. But also the end of this movie with like all the monsters being released and killing the staff that was holding them. Literally an episode of Buffy as well. So very clear that Joss
Really?
Whedon helped write this movie.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I would like to go on record right here, right now, and say that Joss Whedon was a writer and producer on this. And I think it's important to say that Joss Whedon is a terrible person. No one here is denying that. He's a bad dude. And I hate it. I hate that I like some of his content. And I definitely didn't watch this movie illegal. But yeah, it definitely tarnishes things a little that I love when they're made by people who suck.
Can relate.
I think literally everyone on Earth can relate at this point, but
Yeah. There aren't a whole lot of good people.
yeah, well, you know.
Yeah. What did Joss Whedon do? I didn't know that he was a terrible person.
Oh, you didn't know? You hadn't heard?
Nope. No,
Uh
I just kind of let you take your little soapbox, and now you have to explain.
Thank you. Thank you. They call me the celebrity ruiner.
That's honestly not far from the truth.
No, it's not. People are like, "I love this actor," and I'm like, "Did you know that they killed someone?" And everybody's like, "All right, mood's ruined."
Here we go.
No.
Yeah, no, tell me about Joss Whedon. Why he's horrible.
He didn't kill anyone, to my knowledge, but he was just super abusive. Like, basically every actor that's ever worked with him has said that he's incredibly rude and very abusive towards the cast, and he was super super sexist. He like fired someone because they got pregnant and like basically was like, "Oh, are you going to keep it?" Like
Oof.
yeah. Yeah, just the you can literally go online and read about basically the entire cast of Buffy. There was like it really blew up when oh, I'm gonna have to Google his name. The guy who was in the Justice League, um, basically came out and was like he was just super racist, and that was why like he dropped out. Let me look up his name. Hold on, because that's important. Ray Fisher. Um, yeah, Ray Fisher was basically in one of the DCU movies, and I think he ended up leaving too because it was just like, dude, this guy's a fucking asshole. And then like
Yeah.
basically everyone on Buffy was like, no, yeah, he is. Like it's not.
Oof.
Yeah. So
Well, hate that guy.
yeah. I like to honestly like it's just wild to me when someone's like super like because Buffy came out in the 90s and like Buffy does not feel like something made by someone who's like super sexist. So like
Aw.
it's like how are you that progressive with like your writing but then like treat people like shit? Like I don't understand, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Gross. Glad we got that out of the way.
me too. Yeah. What else? What else?
Well, I guess how scary did you think it was?
Like a 1.5. I'm starting to realize that I'm very impacted by the tone of movies. Like if it has a light,
Yeah.
funny tone to it, I'm just not. The scares don't land at all for me because I'm like, oh my god, it's a merman. Like I don't, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
So
I
probably
agree.
like a 1.
I agree. I gave it a 1.5 though, just because there were a few jump scares.
Yeah, for sure. I think a 1.5 is fair.
Yeah. But no, like to your point, Saw was not very scary to me. It was a little. It was supposed to be dark, I guess, but I thought it was kind of funny and like cheeky.
Okay, first of all, thank you. Because when I tell people that there are jokes in Saw, they get mad at me. And
There
I'm like,
are.
there are literal. Adam is hilarious. Are you joking?
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Okay,
Hilarious is a strong word.
that's. I think if me and Adam hung out, we'd be friends. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're like, yes, of course you would.
Yes. Yes. Whatever helps you sleep at night. Of course he would.
Thank you.
Um, but
Uh,
no, the tone, the menu, Saw, Scream, not scary.
yeah, I think once it's like in a silly, goofy mood, I'm like, all right,
Mhm.
you can throw anything at me. People can
Yeah.
like be getting torn apart by a flying purple people eater, which there is one in this movie, and I'll just be like, LOL.
Yeah. Just Little bit of comic relief. Not scary.
Nope. What about sexy though?
I struggle between 4.5 and 5. Like, I wanna reserve the 5 for the absolute corniest movie I've ever seen in my life.
Didn't
This
you
movie
give
was probably a
Alien a
4.5.
5?
Oh, did I? That makes sense.
I feel like you gave Alien a 5. Maybe it was a 4.5. I don't remember. It was high.
Yeah.
Okay, you
Yeah.
said 4.5? That's what you said?
So 4.5 then. Yeah. And they were, like, shooting pheromones, there were, like, naked people, there was titties.
All right.
It's a pretty sexy movie.
Sure, yeah.
What it and there was every kind of monster you could possibly want to have sex with was in this movie also.
Yeah, I'll be honest, when the monsters were happening, I wasn't thinking about having sex with them. If I went into it with that mindset, maybe my score would have been higher.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna tell you what mindset I went into it with, but
I think
whatever.
we all know what mindset you went into.
Sorry, what can I
Um,
do?
I gave it a 2.5.
Okay.
I think, like, there's some sexiness in it. They purposely put in a sex scene for it to be like, but it was abruptly interrupted by her getting her hand stabbed. So kinda dropped it down a little bit. Jesse Williams, A+ plus to look at.
Love
Um,
Jesse Williams. He's
yeah,
in, Grey's Anatomy.
gorgeous. Gorgeous man. And
Love him.
then, Marty has a little special place in my heart, I'll be honest.
Yeah, yeah, um, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree completely. Except I agree twice as much as you do.
Not fully.
Almost twice as much as you.
Almost twice as much.
4.5.
Yeah.
Um, Sexy movie. I don't know what to tell you.
It was a sexy movie. It gave Katie a husband's bulge.
Oh my god. You're not wrong. That is probably what made me laugh the most,
Oh yeah,
if
the
I'm being
when
honest.
Marty just, like, walks by them making out and it's just like, "He's got a husband bulge." Like,
He's got
that
a
was
yep,
so good.
classic. Loved that. That was a good one.
Yep. Alright. Fucked up?
Mm, like a 1.5. It's like whatever. It's too funny to be fucked up. Like, yeah, people are getting fucked, but like funny fucked, you know?
Yeah. I also gave it a 1.5. I feel like
Oh,
because there's so much, like, blood and gore and monsters and, like, all that, like, it would be rude to give it a 1. It's not a
yeah.
1, like, there is gore in it, but also, to your point, it's a romp.
Yeah. There was
I
nothing really like cringy. There was nothing like uncomfortable. It was just like standard gore. People are dying. People
Yeah,
are getting eaten by shit. Like, been there, done that.
yeah. It's a
You know?
regular Tuesday at work, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know? Um, well, yeah, no, it wasn't really fucked up. I
Yeah.
will say though that oh, I guess we already said this, but like the concept itself
Yeah.
is a little bit fucked up. Like having to sacrifice people is always not like an
Oh,
ideal
yeah.
situation. But whatever.
I
I
think,
enjoyed it.
like, if I wrote on paper some of the things that happened in this movie, someone might read it and be like, "That's really fucked up." Like, if it didn't have the tone, like, if I was like, "Oh,
True.
they take a bear trap and stick it in the back of someone's back and drag them with it and decapitate her and then throw her head into her friend's hands." All of that sounds like it would be a 4 out of 5. But when it's
Correct.
put in the context of a fun, sexy romp,
Yes.
it's a 1.5.
Yep. So the biggest takeaway from this film is that the tone of a horror movie makes the movie. Like it really does. Like,
100%.
yeah.
Definitely impacts how scary and or fucked up I think it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed. Agreed. We don't have a funny category. And I feel like even movies that aren't intended to be funny have been a little bit funny.
Yeah.
We start ranking how funny movies are?
Sure.
We don't have to. I sprung this on you in the middle of recording.
You know what? I'm fine with doing that. If you feel like we should start ranking it like that, I'm in.
Okay, so at the same time, because I don't want either of our numbers to be influenced by the other, because we haven't had a chance to think about this.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Same time we're gonna say how funny it is.
yes. Yep.
Okay.
Wait, let me think though.
Me too.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Ready?
Wait, do we say it on 3 or do we say it on go?
Well, if we're saying 3, then we should probably say it right after 3, right?
Correct. Okay, ready?
So 1, 2, 3, score.
Correct. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Okay. Right. Ready?
Okay. 1,
1,
2,
2.
3.
Stop laughing. No, 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 no. Start over. I can't. I can't with you.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Do you want to? You do
1.
the countdown.
Why? Okay. 1, 2, 3,
4.
2.5.
What?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
You
Why
think
did
it
you
was a
say
2?
it after I said 2.5?
I
had
was trying to say it as you said it, but I got nervous because I was laughing.
Oh
I
my
still didn't
God.
influence you.
Not even a little bit.
You only thought it was a 2.5. I think this movie's hilarious.
Yeah, it was a funny movie, but it wasn't like a fucking funny movie,
But it's not gonna
you
be. It's a
know?
horror movie.
Why can't it be both?
Um,
There are both. There are movies that are both. Like an actual
I think this one's
comedy.
both.
This one's more horror.
Hmm. Okay. What's a movie that's both?
I haven't seen one yet.
So how
Probably
do you
Shaun of the
know they're
Dead.
out there?
Shaun of the Dead?
Shaun of the Dead's pretty funny.
Okay. Funnier than this movie?
um, it's been a while since I've seen it. I feel like I'd have to rewatch
Okay.
to
We
accurately,
will.
you know, do it.
Yeah, that's okay.
But I left room for that. A 4 leaves room for a funnier movie.
So does a 2.5.
It leaves a lot of room for
What would you have rated the Menu?
like a 3.5, 4. That movie was also funny.
Really?
I was laughing out loud at parts of that movie. That movie was so
Oh.
funny.
I mean, I did too, but
You
only in
didn't
like 2
get
parts.
it. You didn't understand it, okay? It's the
Yeah,
least
I
girly pop
really
thing
didn't.
about you, to be honest.
I didn't understand the Menu. Too above my head.
Which is, I
Way too
don't
above.
think it was.
It was too below my head then. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think you
I was
were
trying to use big brain.
overthinking that movie.
Yeah, I really was. I wanted there to be some sort of like hidden meaning, and there really wasn't. It was just a silly, goofy
No.
time.
Well, I mean, there was a meaning to it.
Well, Eat the Rich is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I was trying to read deeper into it.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
No, you are.
All right, overall, what did you think?
3.5.
All right, solid rating.
Yeah, I liked watching it.
Yeah.
How about you?
Well, why? That's it? That's
Well,
your rating? 3.5. I liked watching it.
3.5. I liked watching it. Yep. What else do you need to know?
I don't know.
No. Why?
What caused it to not be higher or lower?
So I mean, I already told you all these things. I thought that the
Oh,
pacing
true.
was just kind of funky.
Mm-hmm.
Like the like what could have been the climax of the movie when, the Americans are celebrating was like 45 minutes into an hour and 40-minute long movie, which just completely threw me off. I was ready for it to be over. I thought it had a good, like, it was already a movie. I don't know.
I don't
I don't
think
know.
that's accurate, though, because the first kill doesn't even happen until 44 minutes in. So I feel like you
Are we
How
gonna have one
long
of these
how
again?
long did you think the ending sequence was?
Um, they were celebrating halfway through the movie.
Was it halfway?
I think so.
I'm almost positive that, like, the first kill doesn't happen until
I'm looking.
me too. We're looking. A full
One of us is gonna
44
have
minutes elapses before the movie's first kill.
well, hold on.
So,
I didn't disagree with you.
you kinda did.
No, I said that everybody was dead halfway through the movie. Well, we thought everybody was dead halfway through the movie.
If the first kill
Pause,
happened at
pause, pause.
44 minutes and the movie
So
is an hour 35 minutes.
they're celebrating at an hour and 1 minute.
Okay.
So there's still 40 minutes left of the movie.
No, it's only an hour 35.
Okay, there's 35 minutes left of the movie.
Okay, but
I don't
60
know.
minutes is done.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I was just high or something,
Mm,
but I wasn't.
you were martying around
Was
too
I?
hard.
Yep. No, but no, I don't know. Something about the pacing of the movie bothered me. Um, and it wasn't as funny as I wanted it to be. I was so ready for it to be funnier.
That's so sad to me. I don't think that you and horror comedies go together.
I just don't think we found the right one yet.
I think you want like a movie. What's the funniest movie you've ever seen? And if you say good luck, Chuck, I swear to God, I will book a flight to
That
Phoenix.
is not the funniest movie I've ever seen. It's my favorite rom-com. There's a difference.
Okay, so what's your
The
favorite comedy?
funniest movie I've ever seen. I mean, the
I'm not going to judge you, by the way. I'm just going to use it
yes,
as
you
an.
fucking are.
I might, depending on what comes out of your mouth, but I'm just going to use it as a reference.
I mean, fuck. Okay, so the movie that I remember laughing the hardest at and like coming away from it like, oh my god, that movie was really fucking funny, is Bridesmaids.
Okay, solid comedy. I think
I,
you want a horror movie to be as funny as Bridesmaids, and that's never going to happen in horror.
well, why not?
Because it still has to be horror.
It can still be horror.
Yeah, but I don't think you read comedy the same way in a comedy as you do in horror.
Okay, setting the scene.
Yeah.
Setting the scene. Okay, two women are fighting.
Yep.
One woman is walking away and this is a comedy movie, by the way, and she gets hit by a bus. You see blood, guts everywhere. She's decapitated. Her scalp is on the ground. Like she's just like, it's blood, guts everywhere. Cut to the scene of Katie Heron visiting Gretchen Wiener, not Gretchen Wieners. You know who I'm talking about. In the
Regina
hospital.
George.
Regina George in the hospital apologizing.
Yeah.
And Regina's eating.
But the problem
Like, you
is
know
is
what I
that
mean? Like just
the problem is that in horror movies there have to be moments of real consequence and like in order for it to be scary. So like it can't be like a true comedy film where the whole thing can just have that same tone and be like laugh after laugh after laugh because there still have to be those moments of horror plot to make it have
well,
horror consequences.
horror consequences can be funny.
They can be.
Okay, somebody's got I mean, I'm sad because if anybody has watched a funny horror movie, like a really funny horror movie, it'd be you.
Yeah, I have.
And I mean like a comedy horror movie, like a real like a comedy, like a funny
Okay, yeah, I have. Like,
What's the funniest horror movie?
like,
Your
in
answer is gonna be dumb.
no, I was gonna be, like, in my mind, or, like, a truly funny horror movie.
A truly funny horror
I
movie.
think What We Do in the Shadows is one of the funniest horror movies.
Is that a vampire movie?
Yeah.
And that's the one there's a show?
Yeah.
Okay, the show's fucking funny.
But the thing is that What We Do in the Shadows was written more as a comedy than a horror. Like, there's really not a lot of horror elements to What We Do in the Shadows, it's just about vampires.
Is that so much to ask?
For every horror movie? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well then, I guess I won't ask.
Anyways, since you're never gonna ask, I gave it overall.
Yeah, so I did. I asked a long ass time ago, and then you were like, "Well, explain yourself first. You're not gonna explain yourself."
That's
Then I had to
true.
explain myself. What did you give it?
I gave it a 4.5.
Okay.
I think this movie is brilliant. It's a smart take on the genre. It's funny. It's an absolute blast to watch. And I love the references to other horror movies throughout this whole thing. I'm going to go through some of them. You're probably not going to understand any of them. Okay, the camper they try to leave in, reference to The Hills Have Eyes. The other countries' sacrifice attempts have nods to The Ring, King Kong, The Thing. Monsters have
I knew about all
references.
those.
Yeah, monsters that you see have references to The Evil Dead, Hellraiser, Strangers, It. I think even The Shining. Like, I fucking appreciate that shit so hard. Yeah, I think it shows like two twins when it like backs up, if you know anything about The Shining.
I
And
do. I've seen it.
also, you'll know this one in the shot where it zooms out and it shows all of the monsters in there. You can see the Tank, Witch, Boomer, and Hunter from the Left 4 Dead video game series.
Oh.
So there are tons of horror references in this movie that I think are really fun, and obviously, like, I think once you see all of those, you might appreciate that a little bit more. But oh my gosh, there's so many references to other horror movies, and I think that's fun because again, this is a very self-aware, kind of satirical movie where it's making fun of horror movies while still being a horror movie, and that's my favorite fucking thing when it's done
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I noticed Hellraiser. That one was a really easy one because it was like the puzzle box, and he had like chains and shit all over him.
Yep.
Um, that might have been the only one I noticed, really.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it had a flying
But
purple
no,
people eater.
wasn't it the bat?
No, it's like when all the monsters come out. I think it's the first round. There's just like a flying purple monster eating someone.
Aw, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, it's good.
Well,
I feel I've seen this movie quite a few times, so like
yeah.
you kind of learn about it and know what to look for when you're watching it after that. Because again, I'm that type of person who just Googles everything about a movie as soon as I'm done watching it for the first time. So
Yeah. Oh, the ring. I noticed
yes,
the ring. That one was obvious.
yeah,
Um,
reference there.
King Kong.
Yep.
Trying to look at the ones that I just want to see like the.
Just want to see the flying purple people eater.
Well, no, I want to see where it like pans out,
Oh, like just a
and
shot of all of
goes.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. I can't find it right away, but
You'll find it. I'm sure it's online somewhere.
oh yeah, for sure.
All right, Katie. Oh, you have more to say?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask the final question. Would you survive?
No, and neither would you.
Okay, first of all, don't answer for me. I know if I would or not.
Okay, would you?
Why would you die?
Because all of humanity dies.
Because of a decision that one person makes.
Would you have killed him?
So
Would you
here's
have
the
killed?
thing. This one is tricky. I'm gonna put myself in Dana's shoes, and I go back and forth on if I would kill Marty or not. It really brings out the
Okay.
Chidi Anagonia in me, if I'm being honest. It's a very philosophical question. Kill one, save
Yeah.
6.8 billion. at the time of filming. And I don't know. I think when Sigourney Weaver's character says that like Marty's gonna die either way, I think that might have done it for me. I think I might have killed him. And that is the moment where
Yeah.
like Dana almost does. But here's the thing, and this is why I said I would not survive, is because I think even if I shot him, there's no way in hell I'm getting out of that compound with all those monsters released. So
True.
I think Dana was dead either way.
Yeah.
Unless the director had some like secret headquarters that she could get her out of, in which case maybe. But we don't know that for sure. So I will say I am dead. I am dead even if I shot Marty. I don't know
Yeah.
if I would.
Well, I mean, and there was that werewolf. Like, odds of you and the director fighting off the werewolf are probably pretty low.
Well, here's the thing. If I'm gonna shoot someone, I'm doing it. I'm not hesitating and being like, I'm so sorry, I have to kill you before I do it. No. Marty wouldn't have even turned around before I fucking blasted that off. So like he'd be on the ground. The director would be like, hey yo, there's a werewolf behind you. Glack, glack, glack. And then just done, you know?
Yeah.
Because I had the gun
Watching that
still.
scene,
So.
have you seen Hunger Games?
Yes.
Okay. Watching that scene, I thought she was going to pull like a Alma Coin kind of thing where she's holding the gun on Marty and she's like crying and she's going to shoot. And then she turns and shoots the director.
Yeah.
And then they share a joint and the world collapses. But no such luck.
Yeah. I like that though. That I like, I don't know, I like the ending.
You know, it was a good ending. I
Yeah.
just thought it was going to be
Different.
her dying, the director dying.
Oh.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we both died.
What's
Sorry.
That's all right. I'm still 3 behind.
You are still through the end. Okay. Next week is The Conjuring. Why don't you hit me with what you think that's about?
I mean, it's a paranormal movie. For sure.
Yeah, I feel like The Conjuring you'll probably describe pretty accurately because kind of hard not to know about that universe at this point.
Well, I really don't.
Okay.
And what I imagine is the universe of The Conjuring is probably the universe of The Exorcist.
Sure.
So Conjuring
Yes, okay.
is about a woman and her daughter.
And their names are?
Woman's ooh, woman's name is see, I don't even know why I guess names anymore because I already got one right, and that was the coolest thing I've ever done. The woman's name is probably like 35, 40. So the time of filming. When did this movie come out?
2013.
Okay. Her name is Carol. And her daughter's name is Nancy. Do I guess Carol a lot? Is her name Carol?
Her name is Carolyn.
Oh, I was so fucking close.
That was good. That was good.
Damn it. Okay, so Carol and Nancy is the daughter.
You know what's funny?
What?
There is a daughter named Nancy.
You're fucking kidding.
Did you Google it?
No, I would
It's
never.
literally Carolyn. There's more than one daughter, but one of them's Nancy.
So I'm right about the daughters too, but okay, I don't know about the other daughter.
Yeah,
Nancy
yeah.
is the daughter that I'm imagining. Okay.
You know that
so-
there's a Nancy.
Yeah. I imagine that they probably move into a house that's haunted
Okay.
and they need to conjure a ghost. It's very witchy. It's very like hereditary
Okay, so they're
like,
conjuring the ghost.
seancing. Yeah, because they need to dispel it.
Okay.
There's a priest.
And his name is, or her name is.
The priest.
Their name is the priest.
Yeah, he doesn't have a name. He doesn't need a name. He's just a priest.
It's just
Priest Damien. Priest Damien. Priest Damien comes and he's like because there's all this haunting happening.
Yeah, the hauntings is
And
getting out of hand.
Carol's like, Damien, please help us. And Damien's like, the only thing we can do is conjure the ghost, and you all have to be here for some reason that the director made up
Yeah.
to advance the plot line.
Okay.
And so they're all there and they conjure the ghost, and it possesses Nancy. And Nancy kills everybody.
And that's how it ends.
Yes.
All right. The Conjuring 2, Nancy's Revenge.
Oh my God. How many are there? There's a ton of them.
How many Conjurings?
Yeah, aren't there a ton of them?
Are there 3 out, 1 coming out? Is that correct?
I don't fucking know. Why are you asking me?
I think that's right. I think it's
Okay.
The Conjuring, The Conjuring 2, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. And then but also there's The Nun, going to be The Nun 2, also in the same universe. And then there's also the Annabelle series that is also in this universe.
Is Annabelle the daughter that gets possessed?
No. Annabelle's a doll.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
I mean, like, no, you weren't. It wasn't really that accurate, to be honest. The names, spot on. Other than that, there are some hauntings that happen.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll leave it that. We can go into it a little blind, and you cannot
Okay.
open up the Wikipedia and read it.
No, I'm so mad about Sigourney Weaver. That would have been the best little surprise for me.
Yeah, I know. I
And then
hope
it
that
just
you've
wasn't.
learned your lesson on spoiling things for yourself.
Yeah.
I
I
was
didn't
gonna
mean
I was
to.
even gonna say don't look up the cast, but then I knew you'd know that there was like something, and I was like, that's gonna make her 100% look it up. So I just didn't
But
say anything.
see, that's the thing is when I'm looking for like specific spoilers, like, oh, is this person about to break his leg? I'm very careful and I read through sentence by sentence the summary,
Yeah.
and like I don't spoil anything past that. I just read up to it. Does he break his leg? No, he doesn't break his leg. And then I'm fine. But this time I was like, oh my God, it's Mackenzie Foy, which is not her name, but I was thinking of the right person in my brain, just not the right name.
Hmm.
Anyway. Yeah. So like the one time I was like genuinely not even looking for spoilers, I spoiled something from
Well,
Lame.
I think that's a lesson for you.
Yeah. Lesson learned.
A
Okay.
lesson learned
Well,
in spoiling movies.
mhm.
Yeah.
Well, bye.
Cut.
All right, well, that wraps it up for today. If there are any movies you'd like to hear us talk about, please let us know in the comments or shoot us a DM on our socials.
Thanks so much for listening, and we hope you'll join us next week when we talk about the movie that sparked an extended horror universe, 2013's The Conjuring. We'll see you then. Bye.